Saturday, my first day in South Africa, life around Johannesburg unfolds in very typical ways. But Saturday is also a day for death. It is the traditional time for burials here. Except Saturdays now are a window on the crisis swallowing this nation. In Soweto, I see the funerals beginning just after 9 in the morning, and they don't stop. Death is never tidy, and I'm worried that so many people are crowding into moments of such intense emotion. How am I going to explain this spectacle when I get back home? There's probably one funeral taking place here every 5 minutes, and that may be a conservative estimate. And I feel absolutely like an intruder here. But on the other hand, I also want to be here because this is really the clearest evidence that one can see that Africa is losing a generation, an entire generation of its youth.
I can see there's something really happening, something bad, something that we must talk about.
It's AIDS, and I am stunned that death has become so routine few want to talk about it. The victims here are younger than I am, average age about 30. On Sunday in church services, I see no hint of sorrow or outrage at how many of these people and their church officials spent Saturday. Back home, city-based churches were often among the first to respond and deal with AIDS. Monday, I watch Elder Kazudi care for the dying. I'm as close to the outside world as she can get, so she takes me to see Lillian, 38. I'm angry hearing that the healthcare system is in crisis and people like Lillian are simply sent home to die. I'm upset, too, by how many families shun the dying because of the sexual stigma the disease carries. I know families in the States with the same response. But Lillian's sister has taken her in.
I just educate the family how to wash and how to treat it, doing everything, giving them hand gloves and so forth for them to be able to protect themselves as well.
Lillian will die shortly. I'm trying to fathom the actual numbers who will face an appointment on Saturday.
Most people are afraid to go for testing, so most of them don't even know that they have this.
The government says 1 in 10 South Africans is infected with HIV in this country of 48 million. But health workers think it's 3 or 4 times that many. To me, these sound like numbers expected from a nuclear war, but this is such a quiet mass death. AIDS was never even discussed when Colin Powell met recently with South Africa's President Mbeki. Billboards here speak indirectly of the crisis, but there is no sense of urgency. Talking with people in South Africa about AIDS is like describing a dream, only the roles are sort of reversed. At least that's how it feels. I believe I'm seeing a caravan of death that is absolutely real and dramatic, but when you're describing that, people seem to give you the impression that you're having a dream and that caravan is invisible.
I know the Lord.
On Tuesday, I meet Mrs. Mshlongo and her support group in Durban, South Africa's second largest city. The group is for people willing to admit and openly discuss their HIV. It's a relief to meet someone like her, helping people to overcome their shame and face the illness.
They are really supportive to one another. Even when death occurs, they're able to help one another.
Support group members sell these beaded items to help pay for drugs and hospital stays. It seems pitifully inadequate because it will take the sale of 200 of these to pay for enough antiviral drugs to help one pregnant mother prevent transmission to her child.
Just take his top off as well, so he's got a bit of
In the U.S., AIDS is viewed largely as a disease of unprotected sex, usually in the gay community or from drug use. But AIDS, both in South Africa and the United States, is also a disease of the innocent.
Rumor went around that you could get rid of HIV if you raped a young child or a virgin. So there's been a tremendous increase in rapes of young children. We see the babies of the mothers who are HIV positive. That's very tragic. You know, they're infected, and again, it's through no fault of their own.
This seems so insane that I wonder if some of these people deserve their fate. But my anger doesn't help me understand their world. If you could get rid of a fatal disease by traumatizing someone else, would you? On Thursday, I follow as Nomusa Mampanza visits her infected daughter. Nomusa's boyfriend was buried on a Saturday after he infected her and she transmitted it.
I decided not to tell her what really was wrong with her because I knew at the end she was going to blame me, and she has every right to do that.
Though Namusa knows that she will one day face the Saturday of her daughter's death as well as her own, she spends her time talking with others about the disease, hoping to raise awareness.
I'm here to let others know that whoever doesn't have it now, I just want to help them not to go there anymore. They must protect themselves.
She is as close as I can get to a happy ending to my South African dream, but a whole country is spinning into an abyss of endless Saturdays, and there seems nothing I can do for my first world of safety but listen to the anguish and pray for relief. In Durban, South Africa, for Odyssey Weekly, I'm Bill Turpie.